Hey guys, welcome. We got James here. How's everybody doing? We just had ST14 come out. What
Very
does that
exciting.
mean?
Means some nice little updates for Beelstarmon.
Nice updates for BeelStar. So let's see it. I'm so excited about your list. And I'm very excited about all the purple. Stay tuned to the channel. We got tons of purple content coming your way.
Oh yeah, purple's just absolutely going to be wrecking the meta for the next foreseeable future.
Yes.
But in good fashion, we'll start off with the eggs. I run 4 of the Pokemon, and it's the on deletion trash top 2 cards of your deck.
Great egg.
Yeah, really strong. I actually prefer it over the Demimera, even though 4 has usually been the norm. But I just like the kind of chaos of just like finding whatever you want off the top of your
whatever.
deck.
No, absolutely.
And it's worked out in my favor, and
Yeah.
it also hasn't. So I guess the main point of the deck is just making sure that you get, all your goodness in the trash and start taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I think there's a certain option card that lets you get a little risky with what you're trashing.
Oh,
too,
man, yeah.
So
And
we'll get into that in a sec.
I get so crazy with this deck that deleting stuff and trashing my deck doesn't even phase me, honestly. And then starting off with a new edition of this rookie, which I'm so excited about, is Fascomon. And he is your level 3 blocker.
Yes.
Wonderful addition. Great nailbone target. And it feels so good now to nailbone 2 blockers out just so you can have a nice defensive option.
I didn't think we'd ever get that.
Oh, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second I saw this drop, I was like, oh, auto include. Easily. Totally easily. And then continuing on with the rookies, I do run 2 Psychmon, mostly just for the mirror match and a Death X and Cross, our typical meta right now at the moment. It does hinder Beelstarmon, but you have plenty of options within the deck to delete it out and take it off your field. You play it when you want to play it. This deck really is kind of aggressive at first with your rookies, and then you end up into your mid-game, late-game into control.
That makes sense to me.
And then 2 Gazimon for the typical memory deniers. Just good floodgate rookie, and just good in general, yeah. And a lot of the times in this deck that I don't really care much about my rookies or much about my level 4s, so all I want to do is just put them out there, swing aggressively, and trash my deck.
I think purple has the best level 3s in the game because it's always the hardest when you're building a purple deck to figure out what to include, for sure.
Yeah, and I've noticed that every purple deck that I build, I always have the same rookies in it. It's just whatever different ratio I'm feeling, honestly. And then I run only two of the Gabumon that are the trigger draw 2 trash 1. I did run 4 when I first did this, but with the inclusion of Fascomon and just kind of the different rookies I like to mess around with this deck, I just cut it down to 2 just to add some more versatility.
That makes sense.
I switch it between 4 and 2 and 3 however I feel like, honestly.
Yeah.
And then for some recursion, I run 1 Dracomon that gets me
I love it.
1 cost or 7 cost purple option.
Yeah.
So get your Death Claws, your Calling from the Darkness, whatever 7 cost option you need at the moment back.
Crazy how many targets that now hits compared to when it came out. What did it hit?
Oh my god, yeah. And I just every time I play it, I get value. So it's just a one of though. And then another one of is Impmon, and he's the one where you trash a card, get your 3 musk back.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah, I used to run more of them, but since you benefit so much off of Beelstarmon even being in the trash, just a one of is fine. You don't really need more than that.
Yeah, it's just like when you need it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then to finish off my rookies, I was so adamant against this, but I do run 3 of the System of Wonks. Yeah,
it's such a good card.
It's really strong. The trash 1 and draw 2. The decoy doesn't matter in this deck, but just playing F3, good starting, good in general. Yeah. And then for 1 level 4, I run here is the Ginkaku Promote.
Makes so much sense.
Really typical rush.
Yep.
Swing for game all the time. Nailbone it out a couple times. 1 Vilemon. Another just typical blocker. Get it out with Nailbone, get it out with your Fascomon, play defensively. It's a good turn 1 even at 5. Because usually in this deck you're kind of high rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a matter of like what you trash and when you trash it. And when you're defensive and not. Then this is my newest inclusion when I came out with the Dark Lizardmon.
Ooh, I love the Dark Lizardmon.
The Retaliation comes up really well. It helps when I need it to help. And then also the on deletion, draw 1, trash 1.
Retaliation is just such a strong mechanic in purple that almost like went away. Like it was very present at the beginning with BT2 or 1.0, 1.5. And then kind of, went away. Not a lot of cards at Retaliation. You didn't use it a lot. I know Junomon had it, but now it's just making a huge comeback, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, and it's also very threatening to, make sure your opponent double guess what they're going to be swinging and stuff like that. And especially with how much recursion purple has, like, it's going to come out and you're going to get punished.
Yeah.
And then definitely a 4 of is the Eyesmon scatter mode.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Draw 3, trash 2, never gets old. And just the control that you get over your hand and, your ideal, rookie to level 4 stack is just very strong.
And it's a 4 cost.
Yeah,
the
no,
4
super
cost is
good.
such a good hard play, like getting things going or whatever,
Oh, yeah. And, it always has jamming, though.
Yeah,
always has jamming. And a swing with jamming.
See, people always joke about that, but the truth is that means you just get another swing with it.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Or
and
they have to attack it instead of you.
Yeah, and they're not going to delete it. Nobody wants to delete that thing.
Yeah.
You're just going to get value. It's just a matter of when. And no level 5s.
No level 5s.
Don't run level 5s.
I think that makes sense. I don't think you need it. I don't think you need 5s.
So we'll just move on to the main girl herself with the 4 Beelstarmon.
Makes so much sense. What a great card.
Oh, yeah.
What a fun way to play the game. I'm really glad they included this, like, archetype for sure.
Right, yeah. And when I first started playing, I was like, just 7 cost options? Like, that's such a weird number, super undervalued. And then I started getting more familiar with the deck and the archetype, and I was like, well, this is ridiculous.
You're almost like, they gave me too many level 7 or too many 7 cost options to use, right?
And, like, the hardest part of, like, the ratios for this deck that I found was just, like, what 7 cost options I include and which ones I don't, and how many of each. And then for the top end of the deck, I run 2 Zwart defeats.
Nice. The level 7s are hard in this deck.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of depends on local meta. It kind of depends on personal preference, what you enjoy. I remember when the deck first came out, a lot of people liked the Zwart. And then, I think Zwart defeat kind of ended up being the best, but Death X being out, it's like a back and forth. So yeah. But I'm a big fan of the Zwart defeat.
I like the 3 cost digivolving a lot. And also, like, destroying their memory tamer and then choking him to 1 and be like, okay, go.
Yeah.
Or like comboing with like a Death Claw on this thing and then just recurring everything. It just opens up a ton of value for what you can do. Now to, I guess, the core of the deck, which is where you're going to go for your options. I do 4 Fly Bullets.
Makes sense. The signature card.
I get the alt art and the Beelstarmon always confused in my hand.
They
They just
look
look
the
so
same.
similar. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, just throw it on a Beelstar. And I'm like, oh, it's a Fly Bullet. Never mind. I look awkwardly at my opponent as I pay 7 to cast it.
Yep.
But yeah, deleting outright is really strong. And auto include comes out great out of security. And then for my bounce, I run 3 Cocytus Breaths.
You do run the blue.
I do. Yeah, I run the blue package.
Makes
for
sense.
sure.
Makes sense.
I think it's just so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it always works out of security. And just, put things back in your hand and kill a stack without, really doing anything crazy. It's not as strong with against like Black War and stuff like that, but OTK decks, they just lose to that stuff. Now for my new option, which I love, is 4 of the Rivals Barrage.
I was gonna ask you.
When this card is trash in your deck, you just play it. So good.
Just play it, of course.
And then if you and then main delete one of your Digimons with the highest level, very strong. And then the delay is you get a purple Digimon or a Tamer back.
Wow.
And you just loop it with your Beelstar.
That's crazy. I mean, that's just a perfect option.
Oh yeah.
SD14 has given us with this deck. So very excited for more decks to include that card in general.
When I was playing in the Beelstarmon Cup, I mean, I must have looped this thing 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
just playing it out, deleting everything on the field for 2-3 memory.
Gotcha.
And it gives me so much value. And then 3 Nailbone.
That's my favorite card of the deck. What can I say?
Very strong. I mean, get your Eyesmon back, get your Memory Choker, your Psychmon back, build back up, or just start swinging with rookies, because the longer the game goes on when you're against BeelStar, it just kind of turns into like a control deck, and then it just turns into like some glorified rookie rush. And
yep.
You just start playing your level 3s again, swinging security, because you don't care in this deck if it dies. Doesn't matter. Everything's coming back. And then I run a Howling Crusher.
You do run a Howling Crusher. Okay.
I think it's just it's my newest inclusion to it. I didn't run it before I ran 4 Cocytus Breaths.
I see.
But I decided stripping costs, or not costs, but stripping Digievolution sources, I think is really strong. And then then they're just left with a measly level 7 that does nothing.
Yeah.
And then for my last 7-cost option is Geralt Schwarmer.
Oh, you do play that. Okay.
Mhm.
That's pretty good because that deletes everything 7 cost or less. Is that right?
Yeah. And you play it on BeelStar, play that thing for free,
Wow.
wipe their rookies or wipe, their level 5s, because a lot of level 5s are 6s and 7s. And then you pass turn.
Wow.
Getting to the smaller options, I do 2 Deathclaws.
2 Deathclaws.
I like it as an option because, like, when my Eismon, inevitably has jamming, I just delete it myself.
Yep.
It gives me just control over what I can do with my board and opens up more options in terms of, like, what I delete and what I don't.
Deathclaw, another important purple staple for sure.
Oh, yeah. And, deleting something off their field is always also useful. But it's kind of like, my favorite combo is playing a BeelStar, going to a Zwart, popping something, then popping the Zwart with the Deathclaw, deleting a Digimon, then replaying a BeelStar again.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah. It just endless looping fun. And then Calling from the Darkness, staple purple.
Wow. Yep.
Does the same thing as Deathclaw, but then gets you multiple Digimon back. And yeah. Then I run 1 Missed Memory Boost. I did have this
1 Missed Memory Boost. Okay.
I did have it more. I had 3.
Yeah.
Originally, where I didn't have any Deathclaws, because what I would do is I would just kind of save it.
Yeah.
So I play these all in the beginning, trash my deck, and then when I'm really ready to make multiple BeelStar plays, I just start popping those and
Got it. Get the memory and stuff.
yeah, exactly, and just kind of overwhelm my opponent with whatever options it is. And then I run 2 Tamers, and I run 2 of the Kyoshiro.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Gotta
How else
have
you
the
can
blue.
activate blue, right?
Gotta have the blue.
Yeah.
I have caught myself now making mistakes with
Yeah.
the blue. Yeah, I definitely have made mistakes before, so
It's crazy how perfect that Tamer is. Like, obviously the Jellymon fans and the Jellymon tribal deck is a strong deck, and I saw a really cool list for BT13. That's a side note, but it almost feels like that Tamer was built for this deck. Right?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Now, as soon as that Tamer came out, it opened up the entire blue engine. You got a draw engine going on, and it's a memory setter. Like,
yeah,
best Tamer for the deck.
And the drawing doesn't come up as much as I think it does, because I do kind of get a full hand when you're kind of drawing all these cards and discarding and stuff. But the memory setter is just really good. And then coming out of security, playing a downturn one, just opens up the options if you don't see any BeelStars, stuff like that. But overall, I like the new stuff that's come out for with SD14 for Beelstarmon, and I don't have the new Beelstarmon on here.
It makes sense. It's a great Digimon. It's a cool level 6, but they're 2 separate decks.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a whole different kind of identity.
Yeah. You got to stick with what this deck does best and stay with that core. And if you really like that BeelStar, that's a different deck.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, it's just a great deck and ton of fun to play, and it fits right within my wheelhouse of control.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments that you want to see way more of James on the channel. We love having you here. Thank you again for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And stay tuned. I think we got tons of purple stuff coming your way in celebration of the Beelstarmon Cup and just the best color in Digimon. So,
absolutely.
Again, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks
Guys. Bye.